Hello students, welcome back. I just wanted to say congratulations on completing Light Steps. You did a great job taking a broken game from lesson 1 and bringing it all the way to our final product in lesson number 8. I hope you feel like you learned a lot and that you feel some ownership of this game because even though we made it together, you did all the work. And in this video, I want to give you some ideas of where you could go next because you might be sitting there saying, okay, what's next? I could just continue to play this game, but I want to keep building it. So let's head to the computer screen and let's look at our completed version of Light Steps, and we'll toss some new ideas out here of how we can take this game and make it truly your own. So one of the first things I'll say we could try to do is add some more effects to our platform. So when I stand on a platform, it lights right up. Okay, so right here, it's lit up and I have particles, but maybe while I'm on it, we could have the platform sort of pulse and change its brightness. Like it could go bright and dark and bright and dark. And that might give a neat little effect to make our game seem a little bit more different. Our platforms could feel alive when they are highlighted. The next thing that I'd say we could do is add more enemy variety. So right now, if we look, I'll spawn an enemy here. All right, so there's our enemy. Our enemies are of one type. They're these little sentry enemies. They just go back and forth at some speed. Now, you could maybe make an enemy that's a slow, larger enemy that like is much more massive, that sits over maybe like one whole square, but moves slower, or a smaller, faster enemy. Or you could make you could make an enemy that doesn't tie to a platform at all. You could make an enemy that flies across the screen, can fly through platforms. So maybe you make an enemy that's flying back and forth in this location or back and forth in this location. We already have enemies and we already know how to do collisions and spawning. So I think that this is maybe a natural extension for a lot of us here with our game. Next, we are only currently tracking the sequence. That's how we determine how well you did, right? How many steps in the sequence can you remember? But maybe you want to create a scoring system. So you get points every time you complete something in the sequence, but also you might get points for how much focus you have remaining when you complete. And this would add a nice competitive edge to our game that we're sort of lacking right now. Because right now, how do we know who did better, you or your friend playing this game? So a score system might work really well, and we could display it right in our HUD when we are done with it. Next, we could create some power-ups. So we could have like collectible items that we can pick up as we're playing the game to maybe increase our focus, to get some focus back to the player. This could be pretty easy because we know how to spawn objects into the world, right? We've spawned players. We spawned enemies. We could just spawn these power-ups and check to see if we've collided with them just like it were an enemy. But instead of resetting our sequence, we could give ourselves more focus. We could refill focus. So I think that's a pretty good idea. And then lastly, what we could do is we could try to add some cooler background effects. Right now, we have this sort of like grid-like effect, which I think fits and works with our game. But you could add subtle background effects, such as like drifting particles or maybe moving stars, like trying to draw a bunch of stars in the background that were moving or glowing, I think would look really cool and add a really neat effect. This would make our game feel a lot more alive without really affecting the gameplay of the game at all. So those are just some ideas I had when I thought of what would I maybe want to do here in Light Steps to continue building it, to take this game to the next level. So hopefully you think some of those ideas are good and you are interested in trying those as well. Because at the end of the day, I want you to continue building games. This whole video course here is not about playing games. It's about building them. And so you need to get the ownership of that. And the best way to do that is to come up with an idea, get your hands on the keyboard, and see if you can make it happen. So I hope to see you in our next video.